Hey gold friends, sorry about the background noise today. We're going to do what we can and struggle through. I hope you don't even notice it. But let's take a look at the daily chart. This is what we're looking at, this descending wedge breakout currently in action. And this is a 4-hour pattern, so we're just going to zoom right in. I don't know what zoom means, but we're going to zoom right in on this 4-hour descending wedge. And this is a breakout we saw yesterday. So what we were looking for was what? A little bit of resistance and some pullback. One of the outcomes of a pattern break is a potential backtest of the key level of your break. So what we had talked about in the previous video was a potential for us to come back down and test out this trend line as a possible area of support before continuing back onto the upside. So over the last 24 hours or so, we have seen that starting to happen here. We're seeing a little bit of support on the EMA 12 on our 4-hour time frame, and if we zoom into the hourly, we can see that we actually have a tightening range there. So 4-hour EMA 12, and we're getting an hourly tightening range. Zoom in a little bit further and you start to see patterns emerging. We have a 15-minute trend line that fits pretty well from our top to right about there, and our supporting line is more or less like this. Nice little pattern developing. 15-minute trend line has broken, bounced off that 4-hour EMA 26. Let's delete those lines. And I really want to focus on what's happening here on the 5-minute time frame. Let's zoom in and see if we can see what's happening. So 15-minute downtrend, we get our counter trend, and what we're going to do is try and tighten this up, see if we can determine if we're in some sort of pattern. Is picking and choosing some lines, and not a lot of really reinforcing data over here. But we've got ourselves a potential upper trend line here. Let's mark that in with a dashed line that reminds us that it is a possible area of resistance support, not necessarily something that's confirmed with triple touches like we see down here. So if this is indeed a 5-minute ascending wedge and it breaks bear, that will have us continuing this hourly downtrend, which is going to possibly resume our course for our 4-hour pattern backtest. That's what I'd like to see. I want to see that back test. I want to see it confirm as support, and that is going to make me feel a lot more confident in long-term upside movement. We are still bearish weekly and monthly in that EQ, but I want to see what happens here. If we fall right through that support, then we're going to go full bearish again and expect more follow through the downside on that weekly chart. But if we bounce at this level, it could be a game changer for us looking forward. So it depends on what the overall market's going to do. But that's what I'm watching for. That's where I'm going to start placing my bets. So thanks for watching again. We'll check in tomorrow and hopefully something cool has happened. And we'll get a little follow-up on this 5-minute ascending wedge.